Good morning and welcome to News Desk here on Joy News Multi TV. Coming up in the next 60 minutes, water level in Ghana's biggest hydroelectric dam, the Akosombo, drops to minimum safe operating level. We'll tell you what this means for the country's power situation. Two alleged armed robbers burned to death in a mob attack in Jirapa in the Upper West region. What's becoming of our society? We'll find out. Now, Senior Staff Union of TOR blames BOST and the BDCs fracas on government's failure to revive the state-owned refinery. We'll bring you the details of these and several others, including an exclusive sit-down interview with Ace broadcaster Kwesi Che Dakwa. Stay with us. Thank you for joining us. To our very first story, and finance workers is addressing the union for the UNICOF is addressing finance workers here in Accra. They are touching on issues such as plans to privatize the ADB. Let's take a live feed from the events.
Which arithmetic was used in computing the percentage of about 60%. If we have 524 and 125 are outside, it is nowhere near 60% in our estimation. We think the MD will have to revise his notes.
The Union of Commerce and Finance Workers is addressing a news conference here in Accra. They're touching on issues such as plans to privatize the Agricultural Development Bank. And earlier, you heard Mr. John Esiape, who happens to be the General Secretary of the Union. We'll try and get you that particular feed, that live feed. This press conference is actually ongoing as we speak. We also have a reporter on the ground who will be speaking to her as and when we have them. But moving on, an angry mob in Japa has burnt two alleged notorious armed robbers to death. Now, two others were seriously wounded in the attack and are currently receiving medical attention at the Japa hospital. We can now speak to Upper West regional correspondent. Well, he'll be joining us pretty shortly for some updates. With a lot more updates on that. Thank you for joining us. Now, how do your children get to school? How about the children in your neighborhood? Well, in Tamale, the preferred mode is to use a bicycle. Almost 4 out of 5 children in Tamale ride a bicycle to school every day. For most of them, a ride to school means a ride into a promising future. For those who don't have a bike, they walk for more than 2 hours just to get to school.
Your friends who don't have bike, how really do they cope? How?
Sometimes I look at them, I have pity on them, and sometimes they also beg with those who have the bicycle, please can you help me so that if I get here I'll also walk or something. Or sometimes they can stand at the roadside begging for a lift from people or stuff, and those kind of things is not pure. It's not good to see in the eyes. It doesn't favor at all.
Mba Orlando Adam stays at Bywater in Tamale. His bicycle is 19 years old, a year older than him. It has been in the family all this time.
I inherited this bicycle. My senior brother used it. He has gone to SS. Now I'm the junior one, so I inherited it from him. So I have to also use it so I can also transport myself to school. It can be close to like 19 years now.
He intends to hand it over to his younger brother after completing school.
I also have a junior sibling, so I can also give the bicycle to them. So they can also use it to go to school easy.
Although he loves riding his bike, he sometimes feels unsafe on the streets of Tamale. For many children, riding a bike has become a way of life, rather than just a means of transport.
My bike is very fast and it's nice. Everyone admires my bike every day. Whenever I come to school, they say, how costly is my bike? I will tell them that it's more than 1 million, and they are saying that they may also get.
Those who don't have a bike feel left out and at a disadvantage. If you don't get a lift, how do you get home?
I have to walk.
And how long does it take you in getting home?
It will take me 1.5 hours.
But what about those in surrounding villages?
I'm at Kwasunando in the Yendi district of the northern region, and residents from here to Tamale tell me it is a punishment not to buy a bicycle for your child.
Most children say their parents prefer buying bicycles for them because it turns out to be cheaper.
Now, chairman of the senior staff union of the TOR oil refinery has blamed government's failure to revamp TOR for the raging dispute between the bulk oil storage company and the bulk distribution companies. Daniel Fuga says the inability of the TOR oil refinery to sustain its operations is largely attributable to the alleged fuel corruption. Mr. Fuga was speaking to Joy News' Latif Idris.
The Independence Square here in Accra, marking our May Day celebration, a day that has been set aside for the labor front of every nation across the globe. Now, here at the Independence Square today, what is on top of most workers has to do with the fact that the country is plagued in an energy, crisis, as it were. And so the concerns being raised by most of the unions here today has to do with energy. They want government to fix the energy crisis. And speaking about energy, one key institution that we cannot, overlook is TOR. TOR here is making strong statements here. They have lots of placards here, and some of the interesting placards that are here has to do with the fact that one of them reads, BDCs are collapsing Ghana's downstream petroleum industry. Now, as you know, of late there's been some kind of battle between, BDCs and BOST as far as the, energy situation of the country is concerned. Now, the second placard here, which is also of interest, has to do with the fact that TOR's RFCC plant provides $380,000 per day. Isn't it a better option to the IMF loan? Of course, the IMF loan government has gone for, has created a lot of, confusion in the country. So TOR is also thinking that government could have gone elsewhere rather than going to TOR. Now, I have reps from TOR here. He is going to share with us exactly what informed their decision to come out with these placards. So he joins me here and we move straight into discussion. You're welcome to Joy News.
Thank you very much.
You give us your name and your designation at TOR.
My name is Daniel Fuga. I'm the chairman of UNICOF, that's a PMSU TOR Refinery. I'm the chairman of the union, senior staff union. Yeah.
You have serious issues to drum home today to the president. What is key to you that you want the president to fix as far as TOR is concerned?
Thank you very much. Today is Workers' Day, and I want us as workers of Ghana, and for that matter, TOR Refinery, to convey this message to the president of the Ghana, of the country, that TOR Refinery is the engine of growth of Ghana, the energy sector. If we take the petroleum sector and you take TOR Refinery out, then we are collapsing the petroleum sector. So I want to send a message to the president that he should put his eyes on the ball. That is, looking into what is happening in TOR Refinery for us to fix the problems there. TOR has some challenges of finances. to fix the plant. Currently, we need some monies to fix our plant. Over the past 6 years now, we have not done our normal turnaround maintenance, and we need money. Government of Ghana is the sole shareholder of the TOR refinery, and we believe that putting in some money to do some of those things will make TOR active. So for us, we want some proactiveness from government in terms of what happens with the TOR refinery. We were promised some money some 4 years back. We were only giving part. As we speak, we are expecting the rest for us to go through those process of doing the maintenance and all that. We keep hearing that the money has been released. Part of the money has been released. But as we speak, we don't know when that money has been released, and we can't know how that money has been released. So we are pleading with the president that he should come to the aid of the TOR refinery for us to fix the problem. And we believe when TOR is running, the problem of the downstream, the petroleum problem that we are facing currently will be solved. You can hear the noise that is ongoing now between the BDCs and the BOST. They are all part of the problem.
Exactly. You think TOR can get back to days in the past, decades ago, when TOR was, our main, focus? You think TOR can get back to its feet?
I'm telling you today, 1st May, which is Workers' Day, I'm telling you today that if the problem of TOR is fixed in terms of just doing some recapitalization, giving us some money to fix the plant, we will be very active in terms of supplying petroleum products into the market. TOR is viable. We are very, very profitable. So we only want the problem to be fixed there. And all these issues that we face here will be sorted out.
What would you say is contributing to the problems between BDCs and the BOST?
I cannot speak to those issues for now, because the issues are not developing. And it's very interesting to hear.
Shouldn't they be working together as a team?
That is how it's supposed to be. But the BDCs don't mind you, they're in business. Okay? They are business people who set up their business. So I believe if government is interested in what is happening in the downstream sector, it should focus on TOR and BOST, because BOST belongs to government and TOR belongs to government. So those are the areas government should look at, because if TOR, BOST collaborate, the problem we are facing now will be avoided. And this noise about BDC, BOST will also be avoided, because the emphasis now is on the BDCs. All attentions are now on the BDCs. Every morning, everything that is collected, let's give it to the BDCs. Every money that is collected, let's give it to the BDCs. BOST is suffering, TOR is suffering. That is a problem.
You think the revival of TOR will fix the challenge?
Revival